2 videos in one day, you lucky little sods. Yes, I am Red Fang and welcome back to the channel. Oh my god, have I got some flipping fantastic news for you guys today. As you're probably aware, Gaijin have decided to fiddle around with the battle ratings of high tier tanks once again, and they have done something that they have been, or should have been doing, for years at this point. They are decompressing the top tier matchmaker. No longer will Leopard 1s be fighting T64As and MTB 70s. No longer will T62s be fighting KPZs on a daily basis. No longer will high tier tanks be clubbing lower tier tanks. It is a miracle. Praise Gaijin, praise Gaijilla, praise the giant snail lords, and thank fuck they have finally gotten around to doing this. As you can tell, I'm quite happy about this because it now means I can enjoy my current top tier tanks, because I don't have any of the tier 6 tanks yet, without getting clubbed to death. Hence the video footage in the background. So, let's crack into it, shall we? I've written down some of the top tier battle rating changes. First we have Russia. The T55A is now at a battle rating of 8.7. The C62 is now at a battle rating of 8.0. For Germany, the Leopard 1, this is the first Leopard, is now at a battle rating of 7.7. The A1A1 is at a battle rating of 8.3. For the Americans, the M60 is now at a battle rating of 7.7, with the A1 model being at 8.3 and the Rise being at 8.7. The Chieftain Mark III is 8.0, the Mark V is 8.7, the STB 7.7 for the Japanese, and the Type 74 at 8.7. They have introduced battle rating 9.0 back into the game for top tier vehicles. This means the T64, the KPZ 70, the MTB 70, the Mark 10 Chieftain are all at a battle rating of 9.0. This is fantastic news because it now means that those tanks will only fight one another. Of course, there are going to be tanks coming up from the 8.7 battle rating, or 8.0 battle rating, or 8.3. Obviously the 8.3 and 8.7 ones are less likely to get in. Sorry, 8.3 and 8.0 ones are less likely to get in than the 8.7s. But the majority of the matches will be fighting top tier only. This is fantastic news. Thank you very much, Gaijin. I see that you do listen to us. It just takes you your sweet ass time. As for ATGM vehicles, the only ATGM vehicle at a battle rating of 9.0, I think it's 9.0, is the Raketen Jagdpanzer II Hot, with its 800mm of penetration, will be the only ATGM vehicle getting consistently into that matchmaker. If you're driving any other ATGM vehicle, I don't drive them, but that's personal preference, then you may get into that matchmaker on the odd occasion, but generally speaking, you'll be fighting tanks around your battle rating. This is how this system should have been implemented to begin with, and despite Gaijin's disregard for anybody complaining about the matchmaking system, saying that the BRs need to be less compressed, they have finally listened to us, despite the fact that they kept saying, oh well, not enough people play the game, you don't want to get into a game where there's only 5 people and it takes you 20 minutes to get into. Yes, but the issue with this was that the games that we ended up getting into weren't fucking playing in the first place. Loads of YouTubers have mentioned this before, loads of community contributors who have been around far longer than I have been complaining about this for just as long. I've been complaining about it too, but I haven't been putting my complaints up on YouTube until the past few months. But the light is shining through. Gaijin have finally got around to fixing some of the problems with the game. There are still some remaining, obviously, and I'm not expecting it to all become tea and cakes or sunshine and roses, or however you want to metaphorically describe the situation, overnight. But this is a fantastic start in the next direction, in the right direction. So we should all appreciate this. Those of you who are moaning, keep it to yourself, because you're one of the few as far as I'm concerned. I could not possibly give a shit. You're upset because your KPZ is now only fighting tanks and you're not clubbing fucking Leopard 1s and God knows what else. That is your problem. You reap what you sow. You sleep the bed that you made in. Blah, metaphors. You know what I mean. You hear that? That is the sound of relief. The sound of months and months and months of continued pain finally being relieved. Thank you, you beautiful bastards. We must reward this behaviour from Gaijin, because it is unbelievably freaking amazing. I might sound a little bit, you know, excited here and maybe being a little bit too over the top, but I really do think that this is something we should be talking about in a positive way. Obviously it's not going to be perfect. Nothing's perfect. Nobody is perfect. Gaijin aren't perfect. You aren't perfect, you happy little princess. The matchmaking system isn't perfect. There are a lot of imperfections in the world, but it's the imperfections that it was how we tell the difference between one another. If there weren't no imperfections, everybody would be the same, the world would be a boring place to live in, and I would have given up years ago. Nevertheless, facts aside, this is fantastic news. Thank you, Gaijin Entertainment. Thank you. I can now enjoy the grind towards my T64 whilst playing my Russians, rather than stressing the hell out because I keep getting one-shot killed by ATGM firings, MTB-70s and KPZ-70s from across the fucking map. I'm sure most of you are already going to think of this as old news. I admit I've gotten around to this a little bit later than most people, because unlike those who run their YouTube channels from their PC, I don't have the luxury of being able to record, you know, footage from the websites and what have you, showing the update links like Tiger Frost does. If you've never heard of Tiger Frost, go and look him up on YouTube. Brilliant guy. I've played with him in matches before, and he's a good laugh. He's a fantastic YouTuber as well. One of the staples in the War Thunder community, as far as YouTube is concerned. This mouse really did get tag teamed, but boy did that feel good. The mouse has also had a battle rating change, by the way. That's one of the things I didn't mention on the list. I think it's now at either 7.7 or 8.0. I think it's 7.7 still. This means that you can now make use of your Leopard 1s and your mouse for the first time. The mouse is actually competitive. It's no longer fighting ATGM vehicles on a regular basis. It's no longer being fired at with heat as much. Of course, fin stabilized saber on the T62 there, more than capable of doing the job. So do I think this battle rating system is going to improve the game? Yes and no. Yes in the long run, no in the short period. Because of the battle rating changes, everybody is spamming out their leopards. You've seen 3 or 4 in this game already, and this was the second game I played since the new matchmaking changes. Once people have calmed down and the hype has died down a little bit, the matchmaker will clear up. There will be less people spamming out certain vehicles, because right now people are saying, oh, everyone's playing the Leopard, so I'll play something to combat it, and vice versa, regardless of which nations are involved. People are looking at the vehicles others are playing and deliberately driving out vehicles that will counter that. It's only natural. People are playing to their strengths. Or more importantly, they're playing to make the most of the current situation for the game. I can't blame them for that. This is completely standard behaviour as far as gamers are concerned. But all in all, I am over the moon. I could not be happier. This is... People say that Gaijin don't listen. They do, okay? They do. The issue is that people blurt out racist comments towards Gaijin. Not everybody. Obviously the majority of the community is very good. It's the odd ones out, you know, that wind them up. Oh, fucking stupid Russians, fix your game and all this bollocks. If you speak to people with respect, they will speak to you with respect and treat your opinion with respect. That is what they have done. Somebody has clearly gotten through to Gaijin. They've looked at their statistics for the game and have made amendments regarding that. So thank you very much. Thank you all very much for watching. If you want to see more, please like, share and subscribe. It really does help out the channel, or dislike button is right next door. Thank you very much, and I'll see you all in the next War Thunder video. Thank you very much.